Hi.
Hello guys. How are you? I'm red because
You are.
we were at the beach and I'm like having these white circles from the sunglasses.
Oh yeah, I got it too.
My face is red. We had the perfect shade, I thought, but the sun
Yeah,
came
the wind. I
through.
think it was also the wind. Yeah.
Yeah, tomorrow is sunscreen. Sunscreen day for me.
It's cockroach. It's cockroach.
Cockroach? Oh, cockroach. Yeah, how are you? I hope everybody is good and is having a great day. For us, the day is almost done. It was super warm. Yesterday we had 40 degrees. The highest temperature 40. It was really nice.
It's going to be warm again tonight.
Nice and warm.
I hope you just enjoyed yesterday with the kids.
Yeah.
It's really important that we're sort of touching something with everybody. I'd like to, just trying to give you a different view.
We
on
believe
life.
in the kids are our future, right? And there's a lot of change happening with today. I can see that in the school systems and everything, and I think that's so important and so good that kids really start to and they start to be educated in a completely different way than we were, and that's so important. So because they are the future, they are the ones that can bring the change into our
It's not like school.
into our new world.
Finish school, either get a job or an education.
God, I have to
Get
show
married,
you the
have
moon.
kids.
I'm
and
gonna
that's
show you
life.
just quickly the moon because it's so beautiful. 1 second. I'm gonna turn the camera around.
I don't know if you get it.
Wait a minute. Where is the moon? Oh God, it's gone. Why can't I find it?
It's just a little bit more. There. This is like the more there. That's actually the moon there. You can see. Right
Okay.
there. Right there.
So if you, oh yeah. Okay.
Now you can see me.
It's
Just gone behind the cloud. That
behind
cloud
the
there.
cloud. It was beautiful.
Still is beautiful.
Beautiful. So round. But anyway.
Anyway, it's beautiful from here.
It was beautiful. You can believe me. But yesterday we already touched a topic, and it was really a beautiful topic. And I thought it would be nice to go a little bit on
You continue.
on this
That's
topic.
what we were talking about. Actually, life and death.
Yeah, about we said like Philip already has lost his dad, and my parents are still there, and it makes me sometimes feel, weird to think about that my parents might be gone at one point, but that's the natural path of life. And like I said, when the kids were coming, I thought that was like, for me, that was a very important point, to understand that actually just because a person has transformed into a new energy form, it doesn't mean that the process inside of you stops, because there's still a conversation and an interaction with the energy form that was inside of you, right? Oh, hi Kelly. That was actually that has accompanied you your whole life. There is a part of this person still living on inside of you, and like I said, since it is in a new energy form, there is no
Loss.
misunderstanding. There is no
there should be a feeling. There shouldn't be a feeling of loss, I think.
the relationship is afterwards is without any complications, right? You know, and you can still grow together with the energy that is still living inside of you, of this person that has transformed. So if we feel like this person is lost, right?
Or we feel like we're lost. More we get. I see a lot of people that feel that they're lost, and I think this is a really important part for me because I've lost a few friends along the way these 50 years, and they're just not here, but they're always in here, and this is above all. I mean, I don't think of times they've missed out on. I more think about the beautiful times we shared and the differences we made to each other's life in that time. And you know, like with a couple of friends that aren't here today, we had some unbelievable experiences together, like unbelievable. And these things will never be taken away. And I'm not sad that they're gone, because we all have a certain in our life path, certain time, how long you're going to be here, or what you're going to do with your time, or thing. But because I see a lot of people that they lose their parents and stuff like this, and they're like, oh, I'm so devastated. And we shouldn't be. We should be so happy we had even that short time to be with these people, and what a great impact they've been in our lives. That often is a really one thing we all forget. We just like, oh my God, they're not here anymore. It's like, what about all the beautiful times you shared together? You know, my father died, and I remember I was in Germany at the time, and I went to Cyprus, and I knew straight away as soon as my sister called, before she even said a word, I said, okay, who's passed away? And she said, Dad. And I flew to Cyprus a couple of days later, and I get a flight, and he was laying there on that metal bed where they put the people, where the spirits left the body, and it's just this empty shell. And I remember leaning down and kissing my dad on the head. I thought, he's not there. It's not there anymore. So, if anything, I started to cherish all the times that we had shared together, hard or good. They were all cherished times. Do you know what I mean? Everything was for certain lessons I had to go through and understand. And I think it's so important that we don't dwell on the death. Rather, we dwell on the beautiful time we spent through life together. I think this is so important. It's like the one thing we forget, I think, and I actually read a few books on this, and they were like, it's your ego trying to hold on. Well, I'm slowly picking the ego, and I'm really happy with all the people that aren't here anymore. The beautiful times I shared, even the hard times or the easy times, but they were magical times. It was so special to have this person in my life for however long or short that might have been, and they made a huge impact on me. And I know from wherever they're sitting now, if they're sitting in heaven or sitting in hell, or how that all works, I'm not really sure. I'll tell you about it when I die. But I'm sure they would not be happy to see me upset. They would not be happy to see me upset. They would more be like, Phil, remember those good times, man? Remember when we did this, when we did that? And so this became like a big thing in my life, to understand that how happy and grateful, another word, grateful, am I to have had this time with this person. And it's not like I pulled the gun on somebody and shot them and I ended their life. It's not like that. So it's not like you had any part in them moving on to the next realm. But let's really be grateful for the beautiful times that we had with these people.
And also, it's not even that you had with them, you still go on having it, because they are still a part of you.
If you don't bring the sadness into
exactly,
it.
If you don't feel they are lost, but they are, they have gone into a different realm, into a different energy form, but they are still going on guiding you. They are still going on,
and their little messages
having discussions
from before,
with you,
always there.
everything,
Definitely.
So
Definitely.
this is what I think makes it so worthwhile to go on, and
also to live every moment, but also to live like, a lot of times we get angry or we get upset about what someone said. I was driving the other day on the highway, and there was this old guy, I swear to God, an ambulance was coming, so we all moved to the left hand side.
Hey,
and the ambulance
Anya.
went past, and I went out after the ambulance, and this guy that was actually trying to get in before me for some reason, I don't know, because the ambulance went past and I moved into lane, and he was like really like, and like going so red. I thought, oh my God, this guy's gonna. I had no reaction. I was like, oh my God. I was actually thinking of slowing down and letting him pass him because obviously he was in some kind of rush. You know what I mean? And then I think just the look when I looked at him, I don't know what it did, but he just like backed straight off and slowed down. And I thought to myself, wow, years ago I would have been really like, maybe put my finger up back at him. It's like, it was like this, what do they call that, driver or psychoness or whatever it's called. That it's funny how your reaction can cause the most unbelievable reaction from people. So so his reaction actually should have maybe fired me up, but we're doing a gratefulness thing, and so I'm really thinking about what's coming into my mind and how I'm actually reacting to it, because this is the whole thing of life. It's not about, it's the way you take it. So well, you can either get upset with it and then have pain in your heart and upsetness, or you can just be like, let it go. You don't know what's going on in someone's life. You don't know anything like that. So that was the other thing, coming back to this, is that enjoy and be happy every moment you have with somebody, because you just never know when it's going to be the last living moment on this earth. You don't know when that's going to end. That can happen in split seconds. People live and die and be born and die all the time. So rather than having upset and sadness inside our hearts because of what someone might have done or said, let's just be abundantly happy and grateful for all the other things. Like every bad situation's also got a good situation. Let's more dwell on the better situation rather than dwell on the bad situations. You know what I mean? And there's no loss. It's actually a great adventure that you share with somebody when you share beautiful times when they're alive. It's like, it's beyond words to be able to be loving in an unconditional way, where I'm loving somebody or something, not for what they're bringing to me, just for what they are, for who they are. That's it's kind of special, I think. And from like I said, from that first breath of the baby that is born, that's its longest time it's going to live. From there, it's like a countdown clock. That can go at any time. So let's try to be grateful for times we spent with people, rather than to dwell on sadness because they're not there anymore. Because they're always going to be in your heart, as long as you don't stay stuck on sadness. Because I'm sure any good friend of yours that's not there anymore, or a loved one or whatever, they would not be happy to see you sad. I would not be happy to see people sad when I die. I would be more like joyful when they're happy, And I think it's the Brazilians, they don't even wear black to funerals and stuff like this. They wear white. They're more like, it's like how do you say, like a happiness. They've moved on, and I'm more thinking about the beautiful times I shared. And I think when we can start to look things like that.
I think it's like, there is a mourning phase
Definitely,
after a person has left your life, and because it's just even but it's not even just because because they are not part of your life anymore. It's just for your brain, I think. Your brain is really confused that this person is just gone, like that's, I think it's the first moment is very hard to understand, to cope
definitely.
with that. And I think that's okay, like your brain needs the time and your body needs the time to go through these processes, and that's, you have to give yourself the time for that, right? But after some time, I think it's good to understand that this person is not lost. It's not lost for you. It's still inside of you. It's still part of what you have become now. Everything that you are now is, this person has been part of this, because this person has shared your story, and you have shared this person's story. So there is a part of this whole thing energetically inside of you, and this is still going on. The process is still going on.
Yeah. And this never ends.
On another form, on another level.
Ends,
I'm going to turn the light on. It's getting really dark.
So I think for me, what truly works for me, now I don't advise people or anything like this, but what worked for me just in my way was like I started to be more conscious about the times I was spending with people and trying to make it as beautiful as possible. So I've just got great feelings in my heart. And so when friends and brothers and sisters pass away and things like that, there's a morning for me that I can't just go hang out there again and smoke another cigarette or drink another beer but when I actually comes through and I digest this, I'm so grateful that I had this time, however long it might have been, with them, and how much they're still inside of me and inside of my heart. And it makes a huge,
I remember
a huge difference to
the funeral of my grandma, my dad's mother, when actually it was like, my grandpa, his dad has already passed away a few years before, and then it was his mother. And I remember my dad was standing at the coffin, and his back was turned towards everybody, to the whole crowd that was there, and he was supposed to say something, to hold a speech, and his shoulders started to move, and he was starting to weep, and it was like so heartwarming to see that. He was like, there was this sadness coming over him, and I thought, like it was a sadness of losing your parents, but I think there's another thing that's coming with it, like another emotion. It's you're facing also your own approaching end of life, right? Like, because your parents have gone, and then it's kind of like you're next in line. It's like, this I think it's also this where you feel like, oh, okay, I'm not invincible, and it's going to happen to me too. But this is also a good process again, you understand, okay, this is going to happen to everyone, we're going to face it, everybody is going to face it. But the question is, how do we deal with this, right?
Can't do that now. I'm going to get a lighter for the mosquitoes.
Yeah. So this is actually the thing, like how do we deal with the idea that we are at one point we're gonna transform into another form. And I heard someone saying the other day that human beings are incredible because they are living as if they were invincible, knowing that they are not. They are living as if they were infinite, but they know that are not.
Who's that?
I heard that, like somebody said it. I heard it on the radio, I think, and I was like, yeah, it's true. Like, we are living a life, like kind of like as if we would never die, but we know we die. It's like...
It's actually another funny one. I'll just finish writing this. Keep going. I'll join your conversation in a minute.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's the thing, like, and this is the good thing about it, we don't know when we die, so we don't care. We know it's going to happen, but we live every day, like, to the fullest, as if it would never end, and that's a good thing,
This is the thing I want to join. I was in Egypt back in when would it have been? It must have been 92. I went to visit my sister in Cyprus, and I went to Egypt, and we went to the Pharaoh's tombs and ancient museums, and the Egyptians used to believe that they put all their stuff into this pyramid and they can trade it for the afterlife. probably to the Pied Piper, that we call him. And if you see, they open these tombs up so many years later, and everything's still exactly the same in there. So what's of this earth stays on this earth. The spirit moves as it's universal, but these things that we're trying to accumulate, they're just going to stay here. Pass them on to the kids, let them enjoy, let things happen. But what is going to move on, which is never ending, is our spirit. Everything material in this life will stay right here. Do you know? So rather than accumulate material possessions, accumulate spiritual possessions, things that are going to help you realize that certain things in life, like death of loved ones, and to enjoy every moment. I'm grateful every moment I wake up. Every morning I wake up, I'm like, this gives me a chance to become a better person. And I think if we all started doing little things like this, like, you know, not trying to lead anyone in any kind of way, it just changed my life. Do you know what I mean? These little things have changed my life, because it's like I'm being grateful for getting another chance to be able to create a difference in me and hopefully in the people that in my surrounding, you know what I mean?
This is the hardest thing I have realized, to develop this gratefulness inside of you, you know, this.
But is it hard? How are you feeling now?
It is. It's beautiful, but it's so sneaky, because we are not programmed on gratitude. And you know, like, and learning, like, you know, if everybody who's watching this now, like, just think 3 things that you are grateful for, and just go like, okay, this and this, you know, not like thinking, you know, going like, okay, what, like,
your
intuitively,
kids, your
you
car,
know, what
your
are you
work,
grateful
your
for,
house.
you know, and then say thank you, you know?
After each thing. This doesn't change, this starts to change your inner feelings, because we're very sour on a lot of things.
But the thing is, it's sometimes hard to find something that we are grateful for. You know, there are days where we go like, I'm like, I don't find anything that I'm grateful for.
I don't know. I wake up every morning, I'm pretty grateful I got another chance to create again a beautiful life, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe if you start thinking too deeply into things, I mean, like, all of us have got children. You've got to be grateful you have children. You've got to be grateful your kids are healthy. We have those 3 little kids here. Grateful that my neighbour's kids are healthy. I'm grateful I have a house that I'm renting for $650 a week, but I'm grateful because we could set our house up the way that makes us feel comfortable, with little Buddha statues, with different things that are connected to us.
But there are these little moments in the day,
but this is
where you know, where we start to have little
grateful. We forget to be grateful.
Complaints, little negative thoughts or whatever, you know. And then, you know, in these moments, it's so important to catch yourself and go like, wait a minute, okay, I have a complaint about that. Is there something that I can find, you know, where I can find a gratefulness in this complaint, you know, and so I can transform it into a completely different energy inside of yourself, because I mean, this complaint is rather negative, right? So in that moment, if you're able to catch it and turn it, and, you know, like, I'm really upset about this person who's looking at me and giving me a bad feeling, right? So, but I'm grateful for this person because it shows me, you know, it gives me a good teaching or whatever you can find in that moment.
It shows me that I shouldn't really be worried about what this person's thinking, because if you really know yourself and you're spending that 1 minute, I say, to get naked, stand in front of your mirror and be grateful for what you are. And might not be a little bit of a chubby butt or a belly or whatever. Be grateful. You've got 2 legs, 2 arms, your heart's beating. Be grateful for these little things we forget about. You can breathe.
I've
been coughing the last few days, you know? Because I have a really dry throat.
You have like the taste, you have the touch, You have the eyes that can show you beautiful colors around. You have the ears that can, you know,
the beautiful
that
gift
can,
of the tongue to be able to tell somebody you love them.
yeah,
you know,
and,
like
this is, you know, the ears that can let sounds into your body, vibrations into your body that do something with your heart center and with your, you know, with the butterflies in your stomach, and you know, all these beautiful things.
There's so many things to be grateful
we're
about.
not aware of.
And
you know,
I really,
like we forget that so easily.
Yeah, I really can't. You know, I really can't believe that anybody's in a situation where they can't be grateful for, even in a bad situation, to be able to find something to be grateful about. Maybe, you know, the person's talking about you, and be grateful that you're not jumping in their bandwagon and going on this, oh yeah, oh my God, yeah, God, I do look shit. No, you don't.
Just,
you are beautiful.
Just
like the
turn
next
it around.
Yeah.
Turn the negative, you know, the negative thought, emotion around into gratefulness, whatever it is, even if it's just a good teaching, to not want to be like that person or whatever it is.
Well, and this positive vibration will affect everybody in your surrounding, you know, and this is like gold. You can't pay for these things. You can't, you just, you know, we've been, like, we're in Rishikesh in India, and listen to these spiritual people speaking, and different people. Like, I, with a lot of tattoos and bigger ears, and a lot of people like look at me, but it's like, I don't care. That's not my story. My story is this person in here's got a golden heart and he wants to help everybody, and that's what I know I am, and that's enough for me to believe in what I am. Now, if I was doing bad stuff, then obviously they're saying something bad about me, they're going to jump, oh yeah, shit, you know, I've actually been doing all that bad stuff, you know. Yeah, but when you start being free inside and being love that you're actually made up of, these things aren't going to affect you anymore. And we're going to start to look at this life and death process too as being rather happy with the beautiful moments you got to spend with somebody. And even if the last moment wasn't the best, or what, however it might be, it does not matter. Think of the positive and beautiful times you shared together, because this is going to make you grow, and everything that we feel like we've lost, we haven't lost nothing. The only thing you can do is lose your positivity, and don't do that, because we're trying to change the world. We're trying to change this place to be, you know, imagine everybody's walking down the street and feeling just beautiful. Can you imagine what the world...
And everybody would be smiling at one another, and like, you know, saying hello and how are you?
And I know it's hard, believe me. I grew up my... well, back then I used to say my dad was rather brutal with me. Everyone loved my dad. He was like such a good person. But he just couldn't handle me, you know. So I used to think my dad was really brutal, and that's how I used to see it. And everyone's got the way they see it, whatever, you know. You got we've been brought here for certain teachings and lessons for our soul. And this is what you've got to think about. How is this bad situation, we might say, what has it taught me? You know, like, my friends passed away. What has that taught me? It taught me to appreciate those times we had together, and also to appreciate every moment from then on with everybody else, so I don't have no kind of negative feelings with somebody, because when somebody's gone, you can't really talk to them anymore. So let's resolve all these bad feelings you might have with our families and people and neighbours, and be like, you don't need that in your life. You don't need no negativity. You just need positivity, and to be just full of love. I think this makes things a lot easier. I could say, I'm not sure, but I've met people that had bad feelings with people before they passed away, and they just seem to never forgive themselves for it, like it was their fault. And it's it must be a horrible thing to have to go through.
And again, this is again the discussion that they have inside of them. It has nothing to do with the person, you know. It's always the discussion, the narrative that you have inside of yourself. And after the death or after the transformation, I don't like to call it death. I'm more about transformation. After that process, it's still guilt inside of yourself because you are having this discussion with the person inside of yourself, or with this energy of the person inside of yourself. You can just let it go. You know, there is no reason.
That's right.
There's no reason to hold on to that, because you can, you know, you can go, like I said, you can go on in your process with a person and still resolve whatever problems you had.
There's also some things that I did. There's some when I was doing Reiki and stuff like this. There's also a lot of process you can do to cut bonds with people. So people that have actually had bad words with people and they passed away, they can do these different things. If you want to know about it, I can let you know more about it. Just write me a personal message. I'm Dorothy. Ways things you can do to cut these bonds, so you let go of any kind of ill or negative feeling, because cherish the beautiful times we're sharing, and cherish the beautiful times you had shared with somebody or anybody, and don't think, because it was my sister always just said, I could have lived a little bit longer, and it's like, but it was his time to go. My dad fell asleep, and actually he passed away. My mum tried to wake him. She had cooked food for dinner, and she found him dead in bed. And my dad had a smile on his face. And I've seen a few dead bodies. I've never seen no one with a smile. He had a smile. It was like a grin. Like he had a smile on his face. I would never want to take that away from anybody. Not for a year, not for 10 years, not for one extra second. When you can pass away and be in such a happy state when you're smiling, you obviously left the cell or the body in the most harmonious, beautiful way. You know, and when I saw that smile on my dad's face, you know, it was, when I got older, I didn't really see my dad smile so often. You know, so when I saw that smile and I bent down to kiss him on the forehead and realised that the body was just empty, I was like, oh my God, I wouldn't have wanted you alive for one extra second, because you really died well. You really died well, you know what I mean? And so, and everybody's got their thing. It doesn't matter what somebody looks like, but it's all about us being able to realise and be so happy with the beautiful times we've spent with somebody if they've passed away, and if they haven't passed away, to spend beautiful times with people. Don't be like, oh, next time I'm going to make them feel better. Don't do that. Make everybody feel good every time you're around them. That's special.
Never say goodbye in a
and letter
with feelings of you know, anger or whatever.
We've had this too as a couple, me and Dorothy. She's German, so she's a little bit hard, you know. But one thing that my mother said is like, never go to bed and always sleep in the same bed. Doesn't matter if you had an argument or whatever, and always hug and give yourselves a kiss at the end of the night and just say thank you for being you, you know what I mean? This is such an important lesson. This is for partners and stuff like this. Don't let things be okay tomorrow. You had an argument, you separated in the house for a couple of hours. At the end of the night, you just lay down together and you be love to one another, because every partner depends on love from the other. They need that. When you're completing yourself, you don't need it, but it's nice. It makes you feel good. You start to think of being grateful for yourself, you know? So,
we're social beings, and you know, it does, you know, it shouldn't really matter what the other or another person thinks, or what another person does, because, you know, like in the perfect world we are complete inside of ourselves, and you know, it doesn't matter what anybody else does around us, but
I can add something to that.
We are human beings, right? And we are hopefully as complete as we can be, but still it, you know, like a person that is close to you has you know, there's an energy field, and you have an energy field, and this energy field of the other person has a lot of influence on your energy field, you know, so you can be as fulfilled as you want to be inside of yourself, it still has some effect on you know.
There's also, this is another thing that I think it was Dr. Joe Dispenza. He's a neuroscientist, and he was nearly not being able to walk again, and then he's built himself up again. This guy, I call him the New Age Jesus, actually, because he's like healing people with stage 4 cancer and showing people how to use their energy now. The thing is, what they found, that your aura or your aural field can stretch out to 3 meters around you, okay? 3 meters each way. Now, 3 meters is nearly the size of a car. So imagine having a car all the way around you. That's how big your aural field, your vibration can spread to, right? So imagine you've got 2 people. So you're no longer 3 meters, you're now 6 meters. You've got a group of people, you can stretch 60 meters with 10 people. You can be this abundance of love and joy to anything that comes in your radius. Do you know what I mean? So you are totally complete in yourself, and you don't need somebody to make you happy. You have all this inside of you and the chemicals that are created inside your brain. But when you're sharing life with somebody that you can actually be 3 meters and 3 meters and become 6, what can I say? It's unconditional love. It's just like this. I don't love you for what you are or what you wear. Oh my God, you've got a beautiful set of rack there or whatever. I love you for being human and part of this world just like I am. I love plants. I love all insects. I don't even kill cockroaches. You know, people might find this. Well, I don't, because it's just like, they're also a part of this earthling thing that we're living, you know what I mean? So, yeah, or a spider, I'll take it a little bit further away from the house so we're not going to get bitten or something like this. So everything is a part of us, and we are a part of everything. And I also, when I do my meditation, there's another thing. Our thoughts, if you can think of our thoughts, we have millions of thoughts a day, but thoughts are just like clouds that are floating by. And how long does a cloud stay in that same shape when it's floating above? Changing, changing, changing. These are our thought process. Nothing stays there forever, especially when it's of the egoistic mind or of the mind. Things that stay there forever are things that are non-changeable. That is the love inside of you and the love you can share with other people. Not because you need to share with other people, just because you are of love. And so if you can become the best you can become, there's nothing more. That's perfection. That's what I say, because a lot of people say, oh, there's perfection. When I wake up every morning, I'm thinking, oh God, I can just be a little bit better of a person. I could be, maybe not get in the way where someone's going to have to stick their finger on me because I drove past them or whatever. That would be even better than not having that in my day. But even though it wasn't my day, I handled it in the most loving way. But to be able to even take everything out, and then you're living perfection, where there's nothing but love going on in your house, in your house, the body, and in your surroundings. We are magnets, and we do attract what we wish for. And so a lot of times we're wishing for something, talking about something, and it's come in the same context, but maybe not the way you want it. So it's really important to be conscious of the people and time we share with people, enjoying the time that we've had with them and not letting it go to the next day. Fix everything now. Now's where everything happens. The past is the past, the present is the future. I mean, the tomorrow is the future, and the present is called a present, like a birthday present. Right now, everything can change when you want it to. And don't let go of ill feeling. Don't hold on to these feelings. And be happy that you've had time to share with whoever you've had to share with. Doesn't matter who it might be. You could have changed someone's life with that little smile that you give them as you're riding past on your bike, or you see them in the road, or you help that little old man or little old woman or young person. It makes a world of difference to your oral being, and that's what we're trying to grow. We're trying to make this blow out to 3 meters, and then you're invincible. You can become invincible. I'm not talking about wearing your underwear. You can wear your underwear on the outside and run around the house like Superman. You can do that. Probably not really cool to do outside, unless it's Halloween or something. But you can be feeling invincible and being invincible if this is all in the right place. This is all in the right place. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you like to add something? It's a really touchy subject for me with life and death, because I have the two, like I was saying yesterday, these huge controversies between religion and the indigenous who grew up with the land. So I had this great big contrast. I've read a couple of Bibles and the Buddhist way, and also the Hindu way, and also the Muslim way, and in some kind of context, some things like that resonate in everything. For me, religion is beautiful. I can honestly say the one thing that I'm not for with the different kinds of religion is that in some kind of way it separates. Oh, he's Catholic, she's Christian. We were in Cyprus together. We went to Cyprus has got this huge religion thing happening, and we were we went there with my mother. I think it was a Christmas or Easter.
Easter, Christmas.
I think it might have been Easter. We went there from 3 o'clock in the morning. Mum was like, I'll go with Mum. She goes, I'm going to go to the church. I was like, should we go with my mum?
It was the longest church session that I've ever.
Anyway, so we went to this church session, and at the end, they didn't want to give Dorothy this confirmation where you drink the wine and have the bread, because she's got a Catholic background. Mm-hmm. So even in the house of God, we're separating. Separation is not cool. Mm-hmm. Think of the rainbow. We are all one, and the reflection of one colour brings out the reflection of the other. Do you know what I mean? It's
weird, but this is really a hard thing also.
Don't be like this, be love.
It's easy to say we are all one, but when it comes to a person that you really despise, someone where you go like, oh God, a criminal or whatever, who has murdered someone, murdered a child or something like that, there it gets very tricky to go we are all one, right? Do I want to feel one with a person that is really, doing
someone?
hardcore things like that, right? But this is the thing, when we start to separate, we start to not be able
oneness.
To accept that we are one, and we start to judge. We're not better than the criminal, because the thing is, the universe is not, or God, or whatever you want to call it, right? There is one energy that is creating everything.
That drives us.
There is something that is driving us, that is creating, that is expanding, whatever energy it is.
If you want to call
this energy is not judging. It's not saying, okay, the criminal is not supposed to be on this world, but you're a good person, you're supposed to be on this world. No, it's all created by one force, right? All these things are there, they exist, and they are somehow putting energy into a space that exists around us, and lets the space expand. I'm not saying go out and be, hurt people, not at all, look into your heart. Acceptance. And try to try to see what does your heart tell you. Your heart would never tell you to hurt anyone,
Yeah.
And people who
emotions which are human made,
hurting, who are hurting others in whatever way, physically, verbally, they have a confusion in their brain. It's not happening. They are suffering more than anybody else of us.
Well,
it hurts to hurt someone. But they have a big confusion in their head.
Imbalance.
So, but whatever it is, they are here, and they are somehow, they have a role. They are part of this, and they have a role.
Yeah.
And we're not to judge anything that is happening here.
Yeah.
We are also just one part of this, right?
Yeah.
Who are we to judge what this whole force, this whole energy has created, right?
Yeah.
this is, you know,
This
where
is- I
I
found this
got to
really-
understand, wow, you know, like, what am I doing? I'm
You helped me
thinking,
with this,
I'm
actually.
thinking
You really
really
helped me.
bad. Yeah, but I have been also
Yeah.
judging others, you know, thinking bad about others. This is not how it's, you know, how we can progress.
This is how we can expand.
Yeah.
Yeah. The separation, because we all, you know, like, there was actually, this is another story. I'm writing a book, actually. But there was this, if you get a chance to see it, this is a film, and it's called Bad Boy Bubby, right? I'm not going to say anything about the film. The first time we got it to watch it, I was with some mates, and I was like, oh my God, turn it off, this is sick. And I just left. I left the place. And it was funny how it was playing in my mind for over 2 years or so. Oh God, that sick film. I thought, oh God, I've got to, this is the black and white concept, not evil, good, it's all there for certain different shades. But I thought, oh my God, I really have to really see what did this director try, because everything is to create some kind of emotion in people, right? We've got with the pain bodies and different things like this. This is another thing I want to touch base on after I finish saying. So I saw this film, and I realised how somebody can be so mistreated and confused in life and still come through to be the most loving person. And I'm not going to say anything about the film. It's called Bad Boy Bubby, right? If you want to see it, check it out and look at it in a deeper context. Because this is another thing too. I was talking with Dorothy today. You know, with films we watch, they create these certain emotions. I cry a lot in films. Like, I'm a really hardcore guy, like tough, but I can cry at a cartoon. It's like things touch me. I'm so in touch with my femininity that's inside of me, right? I'm on a great balance. And I think it was this scary movie. It was something about a sister nun or something. It was this scary film, and I thought, do I really want to put this on the TV and have these kind of emotions and feelings running through me? And so I didn't watch it. And that's why I really look at these things too now. I want to be putting things into my life that are giving me great feelings and making me be able to feel better than what I am, for the reason that these are the things that are going to make you be positive and make you feel great. When you have great things on your TV and you're watching them, that's going to be great. When you watch things that are scary or frightening, or things that you seem a kind of injustice to, you're going to have these emotions going on inside of you. And this is probably not a good way to be positive, and to keep a positive vibration inside of yourself. See good, feel good, live good.
A lot of films are made from pain bodies for pain bodies.
Yeah, this is another thing. We
This
can
is,
discuss pain
you
bodies
know,
also
like-
maybe in the next days.
Like, I mean, like, you know, what is actually interesting about a film, right?
Yeah,
like,
someone getting
you know,
hurt
like,
or
if you watch a film and
injustice.
everything is just, you know, beautiful, and everybody is laughing, and, you know, everything is just, you know, there's no drama at all in this film. It's like boring. Many people are just like, ugh, you know, what am I watching here? It's boring. Like, why am I watching this?
That's how much
right?
we've forgotten what our true
We
self
need
needs.
drama, and we want to watch drama, but who needs drama and who wants to watch drama? Our pain body wants to
pain body.
watch it,
Yeah.
you know?
I suffered like that, so I'm going to watch this because this
course.
film's connected to
And
me. It's connected to billions and
Exactly.
thousands of people around
You
the
can
world.
connect to it, and more, if you have to watch it with someone else's story, which is like the movie, you know, you don't have to live it. You know, you're still living in it, and your pain body can feed off it, but, you know, it's not so painful as when you were actually living this whole thing,
Yeah.
right?
But it's bringing you back to it.
It's a little bit the easier way to go, you know, into the drama without really being in the drama, right? But your brain doesn't know that. Your
Does not
brain is
understand.
living in the drama, you know, and it still doesn't feel good, you know.
And you bring those emotions back. Your body doesn't know that's, you know, like, this is a great example. Everyone must have had this. I believe everyone must have had this. You go sometimes to some place and there's a smell, and that smell takes you back to when you were 10 years old and your grandma was making toffee apples, or whatever that might be. So certain emotions, there's no separation of time. So it's not what I'm feeling right now. Oh God, that's taking me back to when my father used to do that. God, that hurts. And I go through that emotional pain at that moment again. So this is what I'm trying to say. You want to live happy and good and take out these dramas out of your life because they're giving you bad feelings. Let's start looking at what we're listening to and what we're doing and what we're watching, because all these little things affect the brain, which will fire different neurons inside the brain to make you feel like that situation again. That could have been years ago, and that could have been something you didn't let go of it. Let's work on things to get through them and understand them and let go of them, rather than to watch things and get this pain body angry or it's injustice. I want things to come back.
Kelly just said Paul made me
Paul
watch.
Paul got me to watch it. Was disturbing at the time. It's a very this film is actually quite disturbing until you can separate from it and actually see. This is the big thing for me with this film, this Bad Boy Bubby, was that this child had something done to him because of insecurities of the mother, that he lived and believed the things that they were told to him. So this is what I want us to also realize. That's why I said Bad Boy Bubby. We have to break free, because a lot of our feelings are not our own. A lot of our feelings are things that we've picked up along the way through life. And so I think I started at about 27 or so when I started to grab that little potting shovel and dig out different feelings and why I was having these feelings. And then I realised that a lot of them weren't even mine. They weren't even mine. They were just things that happened from somebody else.
None of the rules that we have inside of ourselves are not like ours. I mean, at one point we have to decide, can I resonate with the rules or not? But, you know, like everything that was put into our brain is
not our own.
By someone, by school, by church, by our parents and our grandparents and our siblings and everybody. Right? It's nothing is really made up of our own, but we agree to it because at that point in our life we were not able to say no.
That
you know,
fits or doesn't fit.
We were too young to say I cannot agree to this rule. We were just putting it all into our book that we have here in the brain,
so
into
like,
the book of rules.
Yeah, chapter 12. Oh, yeah, okay, cool, I have to react like this.
Exactly, and we had like our parents and the school and the church to judge us if we were not going by the rule. And at one point, we didn't even need the outer judges anymore. We had our own judge in the head because our judge has decided, or we decided to believe in these rules, and
what we were taught.
or we agreed. We didn't decide, we agreed to it. And then we had our own judge in our head who was taking care that we that we go by the rules that we didn't even make. Right? So we have to at one point go through the book, through the rules, and
what
decide,
makes you happy and what doesn't make you happy.
What am I actually resonating
You're growing,
with?
you're continuously growing.
Which rules are actually,
work for me?
Which rules resonate with me, which rules don't resonate with me.
Yeah, and that's the seed you got to take out. There was also another thing when we were in India, in 2020, there was this baby elephant, right? It's so funny. And they had this baby elephant, and this guy was like, hitting it with a stick, and of course me being a lovely dude, I got really kind of like a little bit upset and so I was like, what are you doing? He goes, you've got to understand that this is how they teach them. So an elephant, these things, these chains they have on their legs, they could rip one of those out without like that. But because it's done from a young age and they're not strong enough to pull the stake out, they believe when they have this metal on their leg that there's no way they can be able to pull it out. They don't realise when they grow older that they have the strength to pull this peg out. And so they hit them and pull them on the ears. I left the place because I got really upset. I said to Dorothy, I'm not doing anything like this again. I'm not going to these parks again. It actually makes me, it makes me feel so, and they are human, just like me, but I just don't want to be a part, and I don't want to support anything like that. Do you know what I mean? Like when they've got these, they train these babies to have fear over the human with the stick and stuff like that. So I'm not really involved in those kind of things. I'm actually more, I just don't get involved in things like that. And that's probably not doing my full part, because as doing my full part could be like becoming an activist against this kind of behaviour from humans. But I've also realised that any kind of against is against.
It's not
It
better.
could be against love. It could be, I'm against hate. But you're still against.
Yeah.
So this
And it's
against
not
is a negative
creating-
energy
yeah.
compared to the other energy. So it's not
not
making me
creating
grow.
a good energy.
It's not creating. It's actually depleting your aural field of 3 meters. Now you're walking around in your 1 centimeter aura field because you're so upset at what they're doing and stuff like that.
So the people
Yeah,
that
it's
are
dark.
going, that are fighting for peace are not better than the people that are causing war.
Yeah.
It's just the same.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, against is against. We've realised
If
this.
we want to,
you know.
if we want to, get
Bring
to
out
a
a
higher
beaut-
level of energy, of positive, good energy
A beautiful
on this
world.
earth, we all have to rethink. Rethink our, what we think, what energy we put out, how we think about things. Yes, that's
Your
the thing.
love, right? Your love,
Like
for one thing.
if you see an elephant like that, it hurts me to see that. But at the same time, who am I to judge it, right? Again, we are all one, and this baby elephant has it's hard to say that, and please don't understand that wrong, but
It's a misunderstanding.
there is a soul that has chosen to experience certain things in the sleeve, which is the body, or the elephant body, or whatever it is, and this is what is happening. This baby is experiencing these things, and it's not good and it's not bad. It's just happening. It's isn't.
You can remove yourself from these situations.
But at the same time, we are human beings, and some people can't see it. That's how it is, you know.
In Japan, I can tell you another thing that I've seen. I'm really. That's the great thing about the internet. It's sad that we're not communicating with one another anymore, and going to meeting friends. We're more on the net, but it also opens a whole world opens another world of the world. And I saw this thing about in Japan. Every year they have this special place, this bay, where they kill thousands of dolphins. Dolphins like that. These are the things that save people sometimes from sharks or help people. It's like there's so many injustices. But do you want to live a life of sitting there and being a negative thing about this injustice? You can remove yourself from it, and don't bring on negative energy, because you being sad about something that's an injustice ain't helping it. It ain't helping it, but it is making your energy level become lower. So being not against, they're doing that. That's their thing. That's their soul contract. It's not mine.
It's their story.
Yeah, it's their story. That's not my story. I won't go and pay anymore, and it's not about the money, because I give money to poor people on the street. It's not about the money, but I will not go pay to go and see elephants in a circus or animals in a cage. That's my bit of okayness, because I'm not adding to this thing. And if we were all doing that, then they wouldn't need to have this thing going on, because they wouldn't be making money from it. But they're making money from it because we're amazed and we want to go see injustices. And it's each of their own. This is me and Dorothy talk every night, and we talk about our feelings. We wish people would write to us and want to discuss their feelings and stuff.
Yeah,
you know?
like,
But
if you feel like you can participate, or like even prove us, there's no wrong and right, but if you feel like
we can
there's
discuss
another
something, we can discuss it.
view on something.
This is our view, only our view. There's no right and wrong. This is how we feel after the years we've shared on this earth.
Ow.
What we find, what we find is fair or not fair, or however it might be. It's like how we feel as people. It's not the right or wrong. This is how we feel. I really wish that every human being could come to some kind of self where they're feeling as grateful as what we are in life, because
we have really worked on us so much, a lot, and developed so much
understanding,
higher feelings, high level feelings towards
important
the
things
world,
for me, when you can help,
towards the unity, the oneness of this whole existence, and
understanding that we all are part of it.
This makes such a difference. It feels so good, and it fulfills your life so much. And yes, there is still probably something
Injustice.
that you see where you go like, oh, this is affecting me, but does it really affect you deep to your soul or to your core, or
Your
does
ego
it
and
just
emotions.
strike you? You go like, oh yeah, okay, but it doesn't really, doesn't really tremble me inside anymore, right? Like, coming to this point of peace, to this point of serenity inside. This is, where we all strive for, with whatever we want to reach, like, why do we want to reach it? Why do we want to have a lot of money? Why do we want to be able to travel? Why do we want to get maybe free of our job, or whatever it is, whatever our desires are? It's because we want to get to this point of like exhaling and having peace and serenity inside, and at the same time feel the joy of this, right?
And being the love that we truly are.
What we want
and
to
that's an
reach.
unconditional thing. It's not about what someone can give to you. It's about, I love you because you're you. I'm not here to change you. I'm not here to do anything like this, but I'm definitely here to be present. Because we talk about alcohol and drugs and different things in your life, and there's this time was like this or that time was like that. What I've realised is, since I've been totally on a straight edge way of life, I'm noticing that little bird who's singing at 5 o'clock in the morning when I get up to go to work. I'm noticing all these different things. I'm not trying to escape life. I'm more like living it, understanding it, and loving it.
And being high on life.
Yeah, being happy.
And not low on substances.
Yeah, not low on substances. True, like that special guy
Get
said.
high on life.
Yeah,
Because
enjoy
life
the moment,
can make you high.
Enjoy the people you're with. Be happy with what you have. And if you're reaching a state of unbelievable vibrations, I'll tell you one thing: the universe is going to give you anything you might need. I'm not talking about the new 4-wheel drive or something like this. I'm talking about the real things you need. The growing of the soul, the growing of the heart, the vibration you're going to send out.
And
these are
also,
the special things that we can't
and also
buy.
what our talks, what we send out, like what we express into the space, into this realm. If we say, there was this homeless person standing at the street, and he's having a sign holding up, "I am homeless, and can you give me some money?" He's manifesting his homelessness, and he will.
It's not up to you to judge it either.
No, it's not a judgment. It's just he's really, I am homeless, and he's putting even up the sign, "I am homeless." So it's like kind of like we are all manifesting with everything that we put out, So if you say,
You walk
I
around the
only
sign saying, "I'm rich," you probably will become rich.
Yes, exactly. if you say, oh, I only see, you're a woman and you're disappointed by men, and you always say, oh, I only see unconscious men around me. Imagine who's gonna, cross your path again and again.
Unconscious men.
Unconscious men. They will, it's because this is what your perception is. This is what you let into
your play.
Into your life, into your perception, into, what you are receiving, what you are allow yourself to receive.
Yeah.
This is what comes into your life. And if you say, I am only surrounded by conscious men. Yeah. They are gentle, they are loving, they are beautiful. This is what is going to enter your life.
Like I was saying a couple of shows ago that I had a car accident in Victoria. I was talking about with Dorothy. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be on 100k this year. I'm going to be on 100. That's all I was saying. I was just like so excited. 100k, man. I mean, 100k is like six-digit numbers, and you're like coming from East Bloc Europe and different places where you're making maybe 30, 40 grand, and then all of a sudden you're on 100k. And I was just like talking about 100k. I ended up being in the wrong spot at the wrong time, or it must have been right, and whatever, however you want to say it. But I'm up for $92,000 because a car smashed into me and I was at an intersection and he smashed into me. And I'm up for $92,000 and I was actually a little bit shattered. You've got to really be careful what you're saying.
Yeah, but do you feel like you have manifested it?
I believe I've manifested 100,000. I'm proving to myself that I can pay 100,000 because I'm owing 92,000 to this person now. So manifestation is about what's coming out of here and what's going on in here. So it's coming out of here and going on in here. It's pretty much going to happen. So be careful what you're wanting and what you're asking for and what you're trying to avoid. That's another thing, So consciousness. Be conscious.
Yeah, but there could be like a negative.
No, it's not negative. It's not negative at all. The whole thing is not negative. I was talking about 100,000. I'm going to be earning 100,000 this next year, and yes, I've had to pay 8,000 short of 100,000. I'm paying 92,000 to an insurance company and some guy that smashed into me with his caravan. We tried $10,000 lawyer and stuff like this, and I just said to him, I've had enough. We just pay these guys off. It's obviously for some higher understanding, and what it's actually made me do. I used to always think about how much money I'm making, how much I'm spending, and I don't anymore. After this happened, it's money, any kind of sum, it's just numbers.
So it's actually this turning around, right? Like,
yes.
Like this negative feeling towards the accident where you go like, oh my God, it's $90,000. But then again, turning it around, or 93 or whatever, but then again, finding this, catching yourself in that moment and say, but I'm grateful for, and then find something that you're grateful for around that situation.
And I'm grateful to be able to let go of prices.
And then you can really transform yourself into a complete new being.
And because I was always like, okay, I'm making this much, I can create this much, I can do this much. And after this happened, now that I've accepted it and let it go, I haven't let it go because I'm paying it off, but I have let it go. I also feel like I've opened the door for money to also flow into me. Do you know, like maybe I'll win the lotto. Maybe this 100,000 is going to be a joke in 5 years' time. Do you know what I mean? But it's all about how you accept every situation that's happening in your life.
Yes.
And a lot of people, they have bad relationships or bad things, and they shut off their heart. And I always say, please don't do that. It's so important that your heart is in the right place, and it's because the heart is the center, and this is what sends out the vibration, the great vibrations we all have. We all have these. Doesn't matter where you come from, or what you're living in, or whatever situation. This is a heart center, and this is the one thing you should never close. You should leave it open, and you should be able to open it, fill it, let it go, open it, fill it, let it go. Don't close off your heart, because it's the one thing that makes us a little bit different when you can love. Do you know what I mean? And it's possible from everybody. No one's more special than anybody else. And practice does bring you close to perfection. and this is the way it is. Like when
It's
we're learning to drive a car.
practice to be grateful, to be loving.
When we were learning to drive a car, you didn't know how to drive a car. Yeah, we might have stole our mum's car or dad's car, and it was rather scary. But now, I mean, like when you've been driving for years, it's like it becomes like an unconscious move, right? It's like you've done it so many times over and over again, and this is human. This is how it is. So if you've been pumping yourself with negativity, it's going to take a while to push that and flush that out of you.
It's over years.
It's over years and years. So
and especially in a time,
start doing it.
especially like programmed in a time where we were like open to let everything in, to agree to everything. You know, like as a child, we were in these brain waves where we were like, you know, kind of like
Susceptible.
in a hypnotic state where, you know, we let everything in and without any discussion. So, and then we make our first, you know, experiences where we understand, okay, we have to be a little bit careful here, and, you know, this is dangerous there, and, you know, we live in a world full of dangers. So we become very, you know, like, negative inside because we feel like everything is dangerous and everything is like, you know, we're like, you know, we can be hurt there, or we can, you know, like whatever it is. So, you know, like this is what we have to work on at one point if we want to. That's a whole,
to rise above.
A whole life of programming into worst case scenarios.
Yeah, worst case scenario. Yeah, and then there was the thing I used to say in German. I came up with a lot of different words because I was always trying to transfer English to German, which a lot of Germans found it funny. But there's a lot of things like there's one thing that was like, it can immer be schlimmer. This means it can always get worse. I mean, you know.
But it's rhyming in German.
Yeah.
Immer be schlimmer.
Yeah.
It's a rhyme.
So, you know, you lose your job, and it's like, oh my God, I've lost my job. You could lose a leg. That would make it a lot harder to even be able to go back to work. So let's start to be grateful for the waking up in the morning, the beautiful air we're still getting a chance to breathe. You know, let's be so grateful. If you can, we were going to start doing a thing where if the people that watch us and understand, if they can just do it for 3 days, every morning they wake up and just 3 great things that make them happy. Could be just your house. You're waking
let's
up,
make it 5.
Your children, no,
Could be
3.
more than
No,
5.
3's definitely
Well, it's your
enough.
decision. You can make 3 or 5.
Okay. You can make it 5 or 3. Yeah. I'm saying 3 not to make it into a big project. Every morning and then at night as well. It can even be the same things, or you can even just be grateful. And every time you say grateful, I'm grateful for my house. Thank you for this house. I'm grateful for my wife. Thank you, because she understands me. I'm grateful for my car because it gives me a chance to get to work, to earn enough money to have a life. Thank you. I'm not joking. Within 3 days, when you can do this every morning and every night and be grateful for things, and also when in a bad situation, what you might think is bad, you can turn it into something, into a positive, you know. You will just see within a short time of 3 days how you're going to start. Things are going to start to change around you. And it's not that things are changing around you, it's you, the centre, is starting to change. So that's not so bad anymore. And that's not so bad. And actually, oh my God, that's wonderful. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, really, the thing we're doing at the moment with this one lady, she's doing a gratefulness to be grateful. And just in the last few days,
It makes
it's
such a
got to
difference.
start doing this. It's made us start to do this so we can connect with people. Well, hopefully one day we'll be able to serve people even more, like to be able to discuss problems you might have and things that don't feel great. Because always when you put on another guy's pair of glasses and they're looking at it from a different level from inside the box that you're living in, there's a million different ways you can go about this. There's a million different. There's actually 9 billion different ways. That's how many people we are. Everyone's got their own way, you know. And
it's so confusing to be in your own head, you know, like, oh my God. It's
because
like,
you don't see, you're like in a dark spot, you know. And this is another thing. We're going to discuss all these things through these things with others, because there's like all these people that, you know, oh, I'm looking for the door, or I'm looking for the key that's inside of it. There is no key. There is no door. You have built your own cell, and when you start to realise that there is no key, there is no door, and there is no cell, can you start being free and start to feel what you're feeling and bringing that beauty and love from inside you out. And it's not to prove it to the neighbour, it's not to prove it to your wife, it's to prove and show to yourself how wonderful of a human being you are. And you're living at the highest. This is the thing about drugs and alcohols. You're living at your high. You're not living in an unconscious state. You're starting to live in a conscious state where you're conscious you can help.
And we all want to feel good, you know. Like, I mean, like, who doesn't want to feel good? Everybody wants to feel good, you know. And of course, like, you know,
true essence, yes.
Yes, and of course, substances can do that for a little moment.
It's
but
not real. It's not real.
It's very short-lived, you know. It's just very, it's intense but very short-lived.
Yeah.
You know?
In your mind, you have so many different kinds of chemicals. You just got to find the way to be able to let those chemicals start to work inside your brain. There's hardcore things that we take, mushrooms and different kinds of opiates and all to get this unbelievable high. And if I told you, if you were really constant with yourself and loving and caring yourself, you're going to be able to make these chemicals. You've got your little chemical factory happening in here.
It's such a high.
You don't need to spend one more crazy cent, and knowing that you're going to be on that high level and conscious of what's going on. So you're not escaping or just missing life. You're actually right there being present and having these beautiful feelings that come naturally within us. And these are the things we're going to discuss
like,
over the
oh
next,
my God,
over the next days and weeks and months.
So much bigger than anything
nothing
that I
you can
have
buy.
ever tried in my life. And I've tried a lot.
We've tried a lot, but as we all have, because we've for different things for different reasons.
But there is no comparison to
when it's a natural
to this
high,
orgasmic feeling of life. You know?
And being there, being present, and seeing what's going on. You know, it's like, it's life's so beautiful. Yeah, life's so beautiful, and we've only just started vibrating on a better state at the moment. You know what I mean?
It's just the start.
It's just the start,
and it's infinite. You know, it's just infinite.
It goes, and we know what we know. There's so much more that we're not even knowing yet. There's so much more that we don't even know, because we can't even believe that would be possible to feel that way. So when you start being conscious, you're going to see how your whole world turns out. I wanted to say, and to do that to Heather, Andy's mum, True Jones, Kelly Jones, Dimitri, my cousin, and there's someone else that I missed before. I think it was Miria or something. I just want to say, it's really great for us that you're here watching. It's
so encouraging.
It's so encouraging.
We love to have you all here, and also the other people that are watching for the replay.
Yeah, another
it's just
time.
Awesome.
Drop a comments and stuff like this, like you said about Paul made you watch the film and we could actually talk about that. You know, that thing. So if you write something, we're definitely going to discuss it and stuff like this. And I've never actually met Heather. She's Andy's mother. I really can't wait to meet you, even though it's in Wickham, whatever it's going to be, because you just seem like such an unbelievably lovely person, and it's really great that you're here with us at the moment too. And Kelly, you've gone through a hard time. We all know what's happened lately, and
so now love to you.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's this, being really happy about the times we've shared with people, rather than to be thinking about times that we missed. It's been a great one tonight again. Yeah.
We're just vibrating on our highest at the moment. It just feels
what
good.
We think
and we
is our
want
highest.
I mean, again, obviously, like I said, it's infinite and it can go high. But we want to share that with you. We would like to take you in if you want to. And,
to get into discussion. To get into,
feel the vibration.
Because
Let
sometimes
us
it
give
feels
the
like,
vibration to you.
Sometimes it just feels like it's the end of the road, and you just look the other way and think, oh my God, there's another street that goes for another 1,000 miles. And these are the whole thing. Everything's done in stages. I've said this before, and I'll probably say it again, because it's like one of those things that I've got a itchy finger, but I love my wife. The Great Wall of China, 500 kilometers long, was built because of that first stone. So we just talk about, you don't have to jump off a 10-story building to make a big difference. One step after the other will start to bring you to contentment, to happiness, to loyalty, to love of yourself.
Obvious.
And
loyalty to yourself.
And then,
truth
and
to
then you
yourself.
start to see things in a whole different light. It's amazing. Yeah. Yes,
All right,
and also if you want to
guys.
discuss something, drop your mail there and we can talk about it tomorrow or the days after. We're having a long one on the weekends because I don't have to, like I said yesterday, I didn't have to go to work, so I don't have to get up at 4 in the morning or just before 4 to drive to work. But so the weekday ones will be, they'll be at least 30 minutes. We always try make them 15 or 20, but it's like we'd love this. We'd love this to be able to talk about what we're going through and also to get some reactions from people that can help us be better people, you know. And the weekend ones will be a little bit longer, right?
Right.
All
right. We love you a
Love my
lot.
students. Big hearts.
Your heart is always bigger and
Yeah.
better than mine.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
That's because I have bigger hands. Love you very much.
And see you tomorrow.
Yeah, see you tomorrow. Same
Stay
time on the
safe.
Bat
Stay
Channel.
safe for you too.
Same time on the Bat Channel.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye bye.